Hi friends and welcome to another video of Just Being Earnest. So just a few days ago, I was watching this video by Kevin who was talking to Aaron from Milelion, and he was actually sharing about why he actually decided to go into the Miles game and why he wanted to be using Miles credit card instead of cashback card. So after watching the video, I decided to do some research about it to see like whether if I were to use a cashback card versus a Miles card, which one will be more effective in the long run and which one will be more rewarding. So this is the research I've actually done. So I've actually created this Excel sheet to do the comparison. If let's say I were to redeem a flight between miles and redeem a flight or pay for a flight using cash, which one would be cheaper to do so? So after doing the comparison, so here are actually some comparison details to take note of. So what I did for the comparison between using cash and redeeming miles is that they have to be on the same dates, they have to be on the same flights, and they have to be of the same seat type. So these are the comparison that I've managed to done so far, and I've broken it down into here. So let's say if one were to be flying from 4th November and coming back on 7th November, the for a flight to Thailand, Bangkok, if you're using cash, your total miles spent will be $748. If you're using miles, it will be 50,000 miles. So how I did the comparison to determine how much spending do you need on your credit card in order to be able to pay for these flights. So for cashback cards, I use a cashback rate of 5%, which I believe is on definitely on the high side. Then for miles, I use a per dollar rate of four miles per dollar. So you can see that if I have to use a cashback card, I have to spend $15,000 just to be able to earn cashback to pay for the flights. And then if I were to be using a mouse card, I have to spend 12,500 only in order to get mouse that will allow me to redeem for these Thailand Bangkok flights. So in this case, you can see that using mouse card is cheaper to get the flight compared to using cashback card. So next, I did it for Japan Tokyo. So for cash, the amount that you have to spend for the flight is $1,231, and then for miles, you'll be using 90,000 miles. And same thing, you'll be on the same dates, which is 4th November to 7th November, and then same airline, which is Singapore Airlines, and then it's also the same seat type. So here you can also see that if I were to be using the cashback card, I have to spend $24,600 in order to get the cashback that will allow me to pay for the flights. And then if I were to be using a mouse card, I only need to spend $22,500 that will allow me to redeem the flights. So on another thing to take note of that is that let's say if you're using your mouse, right, they have a difference between economy saver and also economy advantage. So for economy saver, you get fewer advantages, but then it means that you are actually able to use fewer miles. So in this case, instead of using like earlier mentioned of 90,000 miles to pay for the flights, you only required to use 54,000 miles to pay for the flight, but this will result you in not being able to have more advantages like having a guaranteed seat, but this will only put you on the wait list. But let's say if you're on the wait list and by luck you're able to get the seat, you're only spending 54,000 miles, which is actually only $13,500 spending on your mouse card to get this trip. So it's definitely quite worth it to be using miles as compared to using cash to pay for flights. Next, we have United Kingdom London. So the flights will be from 4th November and coming back on 7th November. And then same airline, which is Singapore Airlines, and then same seat type as well. So for cash, you can see that the spending required on your cashback card to redeem for this flight is $45,500. But then if you were to be using miles for your flight, you only need to spend $35,000 on your mouse card. So this is a huge difference of spending of $10,000. So the reason why you should actually be going for miles is that firstly, I mean, you are looking to likely spend on traveling and taking an airline. And then on the other hand, you're also looking for experiences. I mean, since if you were to look at the examples that we mentioned earlier, imagine only being able to spend $35,000 on your credit card to get a flight compared to spending $45,000 on a cashback card to get the same flight. So I mean, for me, if I were to be traveling and I were to be spending on my credit card on a monthly basis, then I mean, it obviously makes more sense to be using a mouse card rather than a cashback card, because with a mouse card, I mean, I require fewer spending to get the same flight as compared to someone who's using a cashback card. So mouse card is only for you if you feel that you are likely going to be traveling and taking a plane ride in the near future. Then on the other hand, this is why you should be going for a cashback card, is because you are someone who rarely travel or may not like to travel much. And then you're also someone who prefer convenience and simplicity. So because cashback card is given to you as cash, so your reward is very liquid. You can use your cash to be maybe choosing buying your air tickets. On the other hand, you can also use your cashback that you earn to be buying for other stuff as well. So there's no restriction on what you can use your cashback for because it's cash to you. But in the case of miles, I mean, most likely you can only use your miles for your air tickets. So that's the restriction. But I mean, with this restriction, it obviously comes with the benefit of having to get the flights tickets at a cheaper cost. So you can choose whether you want convenience or you want cheaper cost. So that's the comparison that you need to decide for yourself between getting a miles card or a cashback card. So that's all for today's video. Hope you learned something new, and I've definitely learned something new between mouse card and cashback card. And yes, it allowed me to see that why I should be going for mouse card, because I mean, if I foresee myself going to be traveling in the near future, then mouse card makes more sense. So for today's quote is taken as: few things in the world are more powerful than a positive push, a smile, a word of optimism and hope. You can do it when things are tough. So that's all for today. And always do remember to make smarter financial decisions every day. Have a great day ahead, and